The keys to building a business from the ground up. That's what we're discussing on today's Inside AB. I'm Eddie Taylor, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Nasrullah Chaudhry and Faiyaz Chand from We Cash Any Car, which is a Dubizzle company. Thanks very much for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Right, you wrote a great piece in this week's issue of Inside AB, which is your life lessons from your entrepreneurial journey, which you think are kind of things that can be inculcated into any entrepreneur starting out. And we'll get to those in a bit. But firstly, tell us a little bit about We Cash Any Car and what your journey's been like so far.
So We Cash Any Car is, it wasn't a new or innovative idea. I mean, these business models have been running for over 10, 15 years in some of the more mature markets. Although we saw there was a need for a more customer-centric point of view where, you look at customers first and offer them choice and essentially convenient transaction. We started off very humbly as passionate car guys, being passive car traders on evenings and weekends, which was a hobby. Then turned into, hey, wait a minute, we can make a bit of money off this. And we took it more and more seriously until gradually back in 2014 and 15, we literally decided to pack in our day jobs, just jump into this thing head first and do or die, really. And that's how We Cash Any Car was born.
And this was 2015, so it's really a really short time frame.
Back end of 2015, yeah.
And then, Faiyaz, if you can talk about, then you were acquired by Dubizzle.
Yeah, so Dubizzle, at the 2017, we got acquired by Dubizzle. So, I mean, sometimes we have to pinch ourselves and realize where we are today. I mean, starting off this journey as two guys, starting off with 15,000 dirhams to our name, and really just buying and selling and growing that pot, and then meeting Dubizzle and getting acquired by them. It's been an amazing journey so far.
So you're now part of this ecosystem. You're obviously able to use their scale and all of the things, the elements that come with being part of a larger organisation with all its tech. How's the business going now? How's the last 12 months been?
It's been an amazing journey. I mean, we've from 5 members in the team, we've grown to around 75. We're growing on a daily basis, and the learnings that we've got with the special guys that we have at Dubizzle and the talent that we have there, we're learning something every day, and they're learning from us as well.
Give me a quick idea for how many cars are you turning over a month? Is there a figure that you can point to?
We're fortunate that it's growing every month, so you have to keep your finger on the pulse if you want to keep track, but we're currently on around 200 cars a month at the moment and counting. It's been an incredible journey because being entrepreneurs and wanting to run the business yourself and wanting to run it very fast is very different from a corporate way of doing things. So what this acquisition has actually done for us is it's allowed us, to a certain extent, run as entrepreneurs, so being quick thinkers and thinking out of the box and implementing ideas on the ground quickly. But we have big brother Dubizzle, who's backed by OLX, who come in and make sure we're in line, make sure the reporting's in check, and giving us that more corporate and institutional structure. So it's a great support system where we're entrepreneurs, yet we have that structure.
So you still have a startup mentality.
Startup mentality with the institutional backing. So it's absolutely exceptional.
So you've written, very conveniently, there's 2 of you, and you've written 4 great lessons that people can read in this week's Arabian Business. So let's split them up, and let's start with one. This is one of the lessons for any budding entrepreneur taking from these guys' journey, is surround yourself with the right people. Talk a little bit about that and why that's key.
So I think many business owners can relate to this in the sense that you're only as good as your staff. I myself and Faiyaz, we are one. We cannot chop ourselves into 10. And as businesses grow, you have to delegate specific tasks to specific people. But one thing you don't want is robots and order takers. You want people who are passionate. I think that's the most important thing when I'm looking to interview someone. Do they have the passion? Do they have the confidence? Are they free thinkers? I'd rather have 2 passionate leaders than 5 robots, essentially. And it works out cheaper as well.
Well, talking about the work element, one of the other lessons on your on this list was the myth of the work-life balance, that there is no getting around it. Entrepreneurship is hard. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So everyone's heard the saying, work smart, not work hard, but it doesn't necessarily work with every business. And I think the biggest advice I can give to entrepreneurs is get ready for that sacrifice. You need to work hard and smart and work a lot of hours. I mean, Naz and I, we gave up all our weekends, all our party time, all the times when our friends were going to the desert or to the pool parties. We were out there, servicing our clients. So if we got a call at 10 p.m. at night saying, I want to cash my car, we'd be the guys there doing it.
And you must have a very sort of supportive and accommodating people around you to allow you to do this. How big a part of that is for an entrepreneur to have good friends and people like that around you that understand what you're going through?
I think it starts at home first. I'm lucky enough to have a supporting wife to help me do that. But it also goes with the team that you have as well. I mean, these guys are the same as us. They have more drive. If sometimes, when you're feeling down, they'll bring you up, and vice versa, right? So it's not about just because you're an entrepreneur, you've got the answer for everything. Have the right team around you, and collectively, you'll be the best team.
Now, there was a word that you mentioned in your introduction, which was about passion.
Correct.
And it's go where the passion flows. Can you talk a little bit about that passion, which is a word we hear a lot in the sort of the entrepreneurship and startup world. But what does it mean to you, and how does that play into the company?
So what it means to me is it's very important to be passionate about what you're doing. There's a number of reasons people start up a business, right? So ultimately, the end goal for anyone is to make money. I mean, that's essentially what carrying out a business and having the financial freedom, self-employed versus employed. But I strongly believe, and I challenge anyone who thinks otherwise, that you cannot just take up an idea that makes money and think, right, I'm going to do this. The most important solid foundation, in my opinion, of running a successful business is being passionate about it. There's a number of reasons why. The endless amount of homework and research that you do in terms of setting up and running a business on a daily basis can only be done if you enjoy what you're doing. Again, as he said, the amount of hours we were working, if we were employed, it would probably be classed as illegal, doing that many hours in the week. But you can only dedicate that much time and attention to something if you enjoy what you're doing. So essentially, anyone who has any business ideas or anything like that, most important thing is, are you passionate about it? Is it something you can see yourself doing for the next 5 or 10 years? And if so, then okay. If not, then follow your passion and start again.
It's that desire to get out of bed in the morning.
Yes, of course it is.
To take that call at 10 o'clock
and
at
we
night.
have little notebooks and little pens on our bedside tables, and ideas are running through our minds at 3 in the morning, and we wake up at 7 in the morning and start implementing. So that only comes with passion.
Now, there's a really great point that you made talking about marrying ideas and passion and all that, is the desire to let ideas go, is the ability to see something that isn't working and go, well, we have to shelve that. And that was a point that you made, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, entrepreneurs, they always think they have the best ideas on everything, right? I mean, that's what we live by. We think we believe in something and we give it 100%. But what happens when you're doing that day in, day out? You box yourself in. I call it the mind block. And in the mind block, what happens is you think it's the best idea, you keep on selling it to yourself, and you think this is the one idea that's going to change everything. So what we do at WeCash is we actually sit back, and anyone who brings an idea to the table, they have to ask themselves, is this idea going to change the game with WeCash Any Car? Are we going to lose money with it? Are we going to make money with it? What does it mean for the company? And if you can answer those when you sat with us, then we're going to do it. If you can't, then we're scrapping it, get back to the drawing board. That's pretty much it.
But that's very it, because you sometimes get sort of welded to an idea that, you turn over in your brain and you think, I really could see the possibilities of this, and this is going to catch fire, and if only Dubai gets a hold of this idea, then we're all going to be billionaires. But you've got to be quite ruthless, haven't you? And you've got to be able to step back and sort of take some perspective on it. And I suppose having the right people in your team will enable you to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we have that problem ourselves. I mean, I'll have an amazing idea, and then Naz has to bring me back down to earth, or vice versa, and I have to bring you back down. So I think collectively we work good together in that sense. We're total opposites, yin-yang, but essentially it works perfectly for the company.
It's honesty, effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's also one of the issues of being an entrepreneur. The general thing is you'd come up with a new idea every day. So you're constantly bouncing ideas off each other. So you may have this one idea, and then the following day you have another idea. And these things evolve into something so unrealistic over the months. And unless you go back to our first point, which is having the right people around you with the right leadership skills, the real thought leaders who can ground you, where you can have an open debate with your colleagues and with your partners to make sure you're not going off track, maybe being too ambitious, maybe being too high risk in certain areas.
Brilliant. Now, I have to say that you sign off your piece with "it's absolutely worth it." And I think that's a great way to leave it today. Thank you very much indeed, Faz and Naz from WeCash Any Car, for coming in. Thank you all for watching. Join us again every single day at 10 a.m. for more Inside AB.